We have a committee move to get to. Bill just bought Thermo Fisher. This obviously used to be a kind of a favorite high-quality name in terms of secular growth, lab sciences, kind of products, research stuff. Yeah. And yet it's fallen on hard times. What do you like?
Yeah, I mean, it really kind of based out at above around $400. It had a tremendous earnings report about a week and a half ago. We've been really underweight healthcare, and it's found it as a good opportunity to start to see some green shoots within, that space. And I think that earnings report really did something for us. Now, the idea biotech may be kind of weighing on diagnostics, weighing on some of that feed through. Now, I think interesting here, look at today, rates are getting clobbered. Yeah. And biotech is one little industry that is actually very positive today. So I think that as they can work, I think you see more spending kind of flow through to the diagnostics. And Thermo Fisher, I think, is at a great spot to look to hold it in long term here to be buyer.
I mean, I thought the bigger issue, and you guys weigh in, perhaps is just overall research budgets just getting slashed, right? Mm-hmm. Universities and NIH and everything else. So, I mean, is that not an overhang?
It certainly is, but I think a lot of that got priced in very quickly. Yeah. And I think that's why it's really been a big underperformer. I mean, it was down more than 10%. It was up, I think, almost 20% off of the lows post earnings. So it's come down a little bit. We used that little bit of a pullback here to be a buyer. And again, I think that story could flip, and I do believe rates start to come down. This could be the marker here today on the non-farm payroll. And with rates coming down, that at least brings that tailwind into the biotech space.
I don't think you're going to have to wait too long. Thermo Fisher, high-quality company. There's a lot of pharmaceuticals that I own that have kind of languished the last few months, AbbVie, AstraZeneca, Vertex. And I think more than anything, what we're talking about here is the sector overall has been unloved. It's been unloved for good reasons. The real giants, the United Healthcares, the rest of the managed care companies, they've been hammered. Some of the GLP-1 companies have gone down. And so the sector overall has gone down. I think it's dragged down a lot of these other high-quality companies, including a Thermo Fisher with it. And I don't think that'll last too long. Quality, the cream rises to the top.
Let me just weigh in with what our friend Jeff DeGraff said this morning about the group. Healthcare's weakness remains persistent and relentless. Bad charts are breaking hard, offering no refuge to valuation or oversold arguments. The trends are weak. Avoid until they stabilize. Clearly, that's a technical assessment, right? Jason, is it time for your contrarian antenna to say, it's as bad as it gets?
Yeah, no, and I like my select names, right? Like, so we own AbbVie as an example, which is up almost 10% year to date. And I think about a name like that who lost a Humira patent a while back and has spent about $20 billion on immunology acquisitions, which are going well. And I think you got to look at names with strong pipelines like they have with Rinvoq and Skyrizi that are growing very nicely. Skyrizi up 60% year over year, Rinvoq up 40% year over year. So I think you got to be selective, obviously, and I think there's some quality names, to Jimmy's point, that could really raise the top here.
I'll throw Amgen out there, too, another one that's done really well that we own. We own AbbVie, Amgen, and then Thermo Fisher and Lilly. I mean, we're still underweight, and I'm not saying I'm going to buy more, but I think this is a good little grouping for us. High quality names take us into the back half of the year.
You got it.
Nobody's talking too much about services, right? I mean, the UNH. I mean, it seems like. I've heard people argue that those companies don't tend to kind of underprice policies for long, and usually the pendulum swings back. What do you think?
Well, you get that. You get where it's maybe the worst in here, United Healthcare. How many people are saying it, and then they come out with the report, and it's down further? I personally have to stay away from it.
Yeah. For such a huge component of the economy, 8.8% of the S&P is the healthcare sector right now.
And NVIDIA is
almost
that, right?
8.
Yeah. Sorry, so I guess that's making the rounds, that comparison.
That chart is everywhere at this point, yeah, but for good reason.